Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Let me commend you on having this hearing today, and also thank the gentleman for being part of the panel, and you've been very informative for me. You know, I come from an old vantage point as being a mayor of one of the cities out there, so I'm very familiar with your small business incubators. And Dr. Lewis, you mentioned something that really threw me. What's a gazelle company? Did you mention that, or was that Mr. Cooper House? What is a gazelle company? I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, perhaps the best answer should come from Dr. Strom from the Kaufman Foundation, but a gazelle company is what he referred to as the high-growth company, is to really carefully pick the winners as best you can.
Okay.
And in fact, I'll briefly respond to that in that all incubator managers, as they look at companies, do the same thing that an angel network might do. They're measuring their success by impacts. They're looking for the most qualified company that can in fact be a gazelle. They're looking for companies where they have a strong management team, strong financial backing, a great idea, a differentiated business concept, and a strong potential for success. And those gazelle companies statistically are generating all the net new jobs from a majority of the net new jobs in this country.
Good. Thank you very much. Dr. Strom, anything?
As far as a narrower definition, it's typically companies
Good.
that grow. It's typically companies that grow at a rate of 20% or more for three or four
Wow.
successive years.
Yeah. Good.
About 20% a year.
20%. Well, thank you very much. This caught my attention, and I had not heard that terminology. Let me ask you something, and the incubators are really key in success as far as starting up companies. We found that they were so successful that we many times had difficulty deciding who could be asked to leave the incubators. In fact, some of the smaller businesses become so attached that they're so dependent on the incubator that they never want to terminate that support element there. How do you determine when a small business or a business is ready to turn out into the real world? Is there, I guess, Mr. Monkman, you look like you want to answer that, so go ahead.
It's actually difficult. It's difficult for incubator managers often to come to closure on a relationship that they've had for some time, especially in successful instances where a company is continuing to grow. But at some point, a very successful company actually begins to antagonize an incubator's performance because it's taking space away from another organization that needs to be there. And in instances where, and in most instances, incubators are nonprofit organizations, maybe 85 to 90% of them are non-profit organizations. It's important to make sure that you're spreading the wealth, making sure that you're making equal access to as many people as you can at the time.
Sure.
So a lot of it has to do with the absorption capacity of the local community to provide graduate spaces. And indeed, one of the types of policy recommendations that we would make would include that, making provisions for graduate spaces.
Good. That has been a major issue in our small business incubator, and I just did not know if y'all had a standard practice throughout the industry that you know of. Let me thank you for what you're doing. This is really your key into our recovery, economic recovery, and what you're doing out there. Continue your good work. There's tremendous number of success stories out there, and not just from you, but from other people who are doing what you're doing out there. So thank you very much, and Madam Chairman, I yield back my time.